happy you're here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my third episode and I'm so excited to be here. I'm happy to be back where we get to talk about life, religion, relationships, experiences. And so today I have something that is really personal to me, something that is deep for me. It's a topic that really is I'd like to pose to you. How many of you received support from your parents growing up? And if any, what kind of support did you receive growing up from your parent? What kind of support was that? So for me, there are three kinds of support that I would list out, and I would like us to discuss today. Three ways that we probably received support from our parents. Maybe some of us did not receive all support from these three areas. But I would like to know what it is like for you. So today I want to talk about financial support. I would like to talk about physical support and then emotional support. So financial support. Financial support is your parents being able to provide for you the basic needs, having a roof over your head, food on your plate, water, clothes, an education. Where I come from in Uganda, we do not have we have to pay to go to school. There is a government system where you can go to school for free, but it's not. I don't want to talk about it as something that is commonly used by people. Most of the time, a big number of people in Uganda have to pay to go to school. So your parents providing that tuition for you to be able to go to school is also a basic need. So I'll throw it in the financial support. So these are some of the things that for me look like your parents providing financial support. And growing up, I received financial support from my parents. I had a roof over my head, I had clothes on my back, I had food on the table and water, I had education. My parents made sure that I go through school and my siblings too. So they were there financially. There are extra things, honestly. It depends on where you come from or what class, what level you are at, because there's the really rich, there's the medium, or the people that are like comfortable, and then we would say the people that are not comfortable, that are really humble. So it could depend, it could vary. All these three kinds of levels, you could receive the basic needs like I mentioned them: water, food, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, education. But there could be extra things that you received that were monetary, which I'm putting it in the category of financial support from your parents. This could be gifts. This could be some people growing up. I remember I had some friends that would come back to school when we would, because I went into boarding school. Most of my life I was in boarding school. From my primary school to my secondary school, it was mostly boarding school. So when we would go back to school after our holiday, you would hear people, and some were my friends, by the way. They would say, oh, we went on a holiday outside the country, we got on a plane and went away as a family for a week, 2 weeks, a month. And for them, that is support as well. They've got all the basics, but in addition to that, their parents have provided luxury or leisure, or I think it's luxury, honestly. Yeah, it's not a basic need for you to go on a holiday or on a family vacation in Uganda. So everything I am saying today, I am basing on where I come from, because that's where I was born and raised for a long time. I just came out to the US, so I'm only speaking from my experience in Uganda. But so they received all of that. They would get gifts, they would, have go to the spa with their parents, and this is all support that they could have received. For me, it was the basic needs. My parents went extra miles for some of those things. I remember growing up, I grew up with my mom's sister and her husband, who are very dear to me. I love them so much. I call them mom and dad because they raised me since I was 2 years, or a little less than 2 years. So, but we had a really good, I had a really beautiful childhood. A really beautiful child. I could boldly say that I was raised, my childhood was really good because of them, because of that family. You know, in the night we would have bedtime stories. They would read to us bedtime stories, and I'm talking about, this is Uganda in like 1995. Having parents read to you bedtime stories, these are things that are not really were not heard of back then, unless you grew up in like a really luxurious family, you know what I mean? So I really had a beautiful childhood because of this. So what was it like for you for financial support? What kind of financial support did you receive from your parents or your caregivers or your guardians, whoever raised you? The second thing is physical support. Now, physical support for me, I received physical support in the sense that when I fell down, there was someone to catch me. There was someone to rub off the dust from my, my feet or my legs or my knees. There was someone to comfort me growing up. I was loved on in ways that there was, my parents and my parents, in the sense that my mom and my dad, but also that family that raised me, would be there to hug us and hold us and carry us. So there was that physical support where you grow up and feel you are safe, there's someone that loves you and cares for you. In school, growing up, when we were teenagers and we were in boarding school, they would always come to our visitations. They would come because we have visitation days. When you're in boarding school, your parents get a chance to come and see you, see how you're performing, how your grades are, what you're doing, how your life is, your health. They would always come and be there. They would be present. So these things, I believe they provided physical support, because they would be present for the good times, the bad times, the times where we did not know what to do. And this is even up to now. I'm in the US, but my parents are, I could honestly feel like they still provide me physical support. And that could be in them making sure that they are available for my son, because I have a son. My son is in Uganda with my parents. That could look like them making sure that they are calling all the time to see how I'm doing, because that is them showing me that we are here for you. We are still here for you. We are thinking about you, so them being there physically, even if it's in a long distance where we've been apart, it's gonna be 3 years, and I still feel that my parents are there for me physically. And not my parents alone, but my relatives, period. Then the third is emotional support. Now, emotional support is very important because it's something that grows with you, and it's what builds it. In a sense, it could contribute to your character. It could contribute to how you view the world, how you view things when you grow up. I received a lot of emotional support. Again, this was through them hugging you. This was through the words that they spoke into me and my siblings growing up, telling us we are beautiful, we are great, we are going to make it in the world, we are going to be amazing, we are born to be leaders. My parents and my relatives and my other parents that raised me when I was little, they spoke these things into us. They gave us emotional support. When we were sick, they were there. They were on the sick bed. They came to hospitals. My parents were there when I gave birth to my son. And not my parents alone, my mom's sisters, my grandmom, they were there. They would come in and take care of my son, because when you just given birth, you are going through a lot of changes because it's your first time. The child could be crying, you are going through pain. I had a C-section, so but they were there emotionally to take away the child and give me some time to just relax on my own, and they would step in these moments, you know. And up to today, even when they are a million miles away, I still get that emotional support. There are so many times I have gone through difficult times, like I mentioned in one of my videos how I got a cow disease, and I was over here in the US. My parents and my relatives were there emotionally. In fact, I held on to their emotional support, and it helped me, you know, go on and push forward the next day and get better and heal faster because of that emotional support. They said you can do it. They would call me every day, they would check up on me, they would ask to video call me. My mom, she, while I was sick, because I couldn't eat, I had a lot of sores in my mouth, like I mentioned. I could not eat or even drink or do anything. It was so painful. She would call me and ask me to put on the video and have a video call with me, and she asked me to set the phone so that I get food and eat while she's watching me. But for a person in Uganda to put their data and what you eat just to make sure that you have something to eat, that's a good couple of like 30 minutes just watching you, actually like an hour, because I was in so much pain that I was eating small portions, you know. I would eat and then rest and then eat a little more and then rest and then sip on like some water and then rest. So that's like an hour of someone, you know, having to use their data to watch you. But aside from data as well, just making sure that she is there for you. She wants to see that you've eaten something. And one thing is for sure, that because of that support that I received growing up, it's easy for me to provide that support to the next person, whether it's a friend, a relative, my husband, my child, a colleague at work. Because I have received, then I can give, you know. Then the other thing that has provided for me is a sense of security. I've always felt secure, and this is not only because of the support my parents provided, but also I guess by the grace of God, for sure. But it provides that sense of security, knowing that there's always going to be someone to hold your hand, to support you not only in the financial aspect, but emotionally and physically, you know. So I've always felt a sense of security because of that. And then it boosts your confidence. It really boosts your confidence knowing that you were supported while growing up. Even up to now, you're supported. You have someone that cares for you. You have people that care for you, people that are going to go 1,000 miles for you. It boosts your confidence that you're loved, that you're wanted, that you're good enough. You are good, and you are, you know, you're wanted by someone, by a community, by people. So there are many things that these things could do to shape you as a person. And that's why, you know, it's important for us as parents. I'm a parent. I'm doing long distance parenting, which has been a really difficult thing. It is a difficult thing. In fact, I am I'm coming up with a course on long distance parenting. So I'm in the process of doing that, and it's going to be up on Teachable, on what that has looked like for me the past 4 years, and how I've had to navigate having to do long distance parenting and yet being present for my son, providing this kind of support that I have mentioned, the support that I received growing up. So those are some of the things. Let me know what you think about what support you received growing up, what support you would like to give to your parents. For those who are hoping to be parents, those who are parents, even just being a friend, being a sister, or a brother, a sibling, a colleague, What kind of support? What does support look like for you? What does support mean to you? Tell me if you have any other ideas about what other categories of support. Like I mentioned, I've only mentioned 3. If you know of any other, please feel free to chat with me, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and I would be happy to, to interact with you, and we could continue this conversation. So again, it was so nice to be here, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. I can't wait to have a conversation with you the next time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe down below to my YouTube channel, like and share as much as possible. Thank you. Bye bye.